that time I was in 11th. I did believe that.
Which we'll come to. Beautiful story. Very inspirational, guys. Better than Batman. Similarly, I think if you look at the game of life as it is, if you want to keep reaching the next levels, you have to keep upgrading your own character, right?
If I were to do this for like 40 years and then look back at life, well, is this my life?
When you look at the mirror, right, what do you guys see?
Oh, come on, right? You want to go there right now? Oh my god.
Currently, I see this 20-year-old guy who's, trying to figure stuff out. If you change nothing will change.
I started realizing that gym is not something I want to do, but something I need to do.
I'm telling you, reading has single-handedly changed my life, honestly. How can you change the world if you don't have your room in order?
You deserve that happiness, that fulfillment that comes from this life. You deserve that healthy lifestyle. And only you can, if not over anything else, I feel like you have control over your mind and body.
But you are not your mind or your body, which we'll come to also.
I think not two existential.
Sorry guys, another episode.
I never take doubt as a lesson. I never second guess it. Take negativity and reject it. I got my mind blind to rejection, so I'll be just fine. Don't be wasting any time with this.
Welcome to the third episode of the Productive
Procrastination
Podcast.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, yeah.
Cheers, guys.
At this point, this is if we have not been cancelled on the second episode. So, what are we discussing today, boys?
Today is, I think, one of our three, like, hum teenon ka favorite topic. I think self-improvement and habits in general. And for me, it's like, it's one of my favorite topics.
We're going to talk about how there are certain habits that have helped us have a good lifestyle and have improved our lives in general. Yeah. We're going to be talking about self-improvement, self-development, a lot of personal stuff also. Maybe we're going to be discussing that too. So it's going to be a bit of a it's more of a personal episode, I think, this one. They're going to understand us better, I think, the people, to some extent.
It's kind of like how these habits we implemented, they changed our life. They made it for the better.
Yeah, I think, and hopefully that if some of the people watching also follow these habits, it might improve their lives in some way also, hoping, for sure. Right? So I think, should we begin with the first question? I have another banger as always. I'm the one who asks the best questions, the banger questions. So, yes. Guys, let's start. Okay. So, this is something that I've always been debating with myself also. The purpose of life, right? Do you guys think that the purpose of life is just to become the best version of yourself? Do you think that this game of life, is that what it is? Becoming the best version of yourself and becoming the absolute peak that you can reach? Is that what the game of life is all about? Do you guys look at it that way?
You want to start?
You start.
So, for me, like, the purpose of life, for me right now, I'm 20 years old right now, so I think, of course, right, being the best version of myself is absolutely kind of what I want. Like, of course, it's impacting the world, changing the world for the better, helping people and helping people with their lives and all. But right now, if I don't focus on myself, how can I provide for others? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if I don't focus, if I don't dial down on myself right now, if I don't go monk mode, or if I don't dial down on my habits, I won't be capable enough to, provide or save the world, but change people's lives for the better, inspire people, give them hope. Make an impact. So I do believe right now a personal transformation for me is necessary, and at that time I was in 11th. I did believe that.
Which we'll come to. Beautiful story. Very inspirational, guys. Better than Batman.
Yeah, it was like, I agree. Like, right now for me, personal transformation is...
At this stage of your life, you think the purpose of your life is to be the best version. What about you, Rajveer? Is the purpose of life to be the best version of yourself? Is that what you look at it?
It's very hard to, be the best version, because what is the best version? Like, for everyone, it's different. And I feel it's just to, keep on improving. But I don't feel that's the main purpose of life. Maybe it's something else. But maybe there's also that quote, the purpose of life is to figure out the purpose of your life.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful quote. So, keep on improving yourself. I think that if not the main purpose of life, that should be a really important part of your life. To, get better each day and each month. Of course, there are days when you can't help it. Circumstances are there.
True.
There are psychological things going on. But I feel you should always, focus on improving and, getting better every day.
Because if you don't focus on getting better every day, then what is the point of like, I don't know if I'm going like too deep into this, but like, is there really a point to like living if you just want to survive? Why not thrive in this world?
Right.
Why not? Because change is going to happen eventually. You have to adapt to it, or you like, it's like adapt or die type of situation. I think of it that way. And it's like, bro, if you're given this chance, if you're given this life, bro, why not thrive instead of just survive? What do you think?
I mean, that's a very good point. I think I look at this game of life as a video game. I think we've discussed this before. And if you look at it from a video game point of view, I think if you're playing a video game, the character in that video game, if you want to constantly upgrade that character and reach different levels of the game as such, if you want to keep on moving forward with the game, you need to keep becoming better. That character has to keep upgrading in a way, right? That character has to become either physically stronger or mentally stronger, or has to accomplish certain goals, and that's when you go to the next level in a video game. Similarly, I think if you look at the game of life as it is, if you want to keep reaching the next levels, you have to keep upgrading your own character, right? And that final boss that we all have, whatever it might be, everyone has a different final boss. To beat that final boss, I think it's absolutely necessary to become the best version of ourselves. And I'm not saying that even if you become the best version of yourself, you can beat that boss, but at least you have a fucking good chance, right? Without being the absolute best version of yourself, I don't think you stand a chance against the things that are coming your way. And just by upgrading your character in a certain way, I think you can face your fears the best way possible, and you stand a chance against this game of life.
You said final boss. Who do you think, like, what is the final boss in this game of life?
I mean, it's very superficial, but I think in today's time, financial freedom is the final boss. I know we
like the first.
we tune to the first episode to understand that. But yeah, the thing is, most people think of it that way, right? If you get the fame and the fortune, if you make that life for yourself, then you've beaten the final boss. But I look at it in a much more philosophical, much more in a different manner. For me, I don't measure my life and my success and the final boss in monetary terms. It's not just money. I think there's a lot more to life. Like money is something that's man-made, first of all, and we'll talk about money in a whole different episode. But I think money is something that we've created to satisfy our own egos. It was not given to us by the universe. It's not something that is far more deeper than what we've understood. But I think knowledge in some way might be the final boss, because you can never beat it. There's always more to learn, there's always more to know, and you'll never have all the knowledge possible. And I think just by keeping knowledge as a pinnacle of what you want to reach or where you want to go, I think you constantly keep getting better, because there's just so much to learn. And knowledge doesn't have to be mentally, like it could be physically also. You just have gained more knowledge about the physical sport or something. So just by keeping knowledge as a final boss, I think you constantly keep getting better and better and better, because you'll never have all the knowledge in the world.
That is beautiful. That money part you said, no, it's just to satisfy our own egos. But that really like got to me. It's beautiful.
It really got to me, and made me think about, okay, the economy exists and so stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
But
I
it
think
also made me think, isn't it necessary?
I mean, it is.
it is for sure.
Because maybe it's not the best system that humanity has come up with, but what other alternative did we have?
True.
But it reminds me of this one thing what happened to me like 2 to 3 days ago. I was like, I was late to college, okay? And I was in Bahar tha, theek hai, I'm out of class, and I was just looking out the window. And then I was like, bro, why am I rushing? Like, of course, I should not be late to college and all, but what I'm saying
Oh really, Apoorva? You shouldn't be late.
What I'm saying is ki, like, when I looked like through the view and all, no, I was like, bro, I'm so focused on earning money and like getting that income and just focusing and I was like, bro, in the end, all I'm going to see is this view again, and I'm never going to see this view again in my life. This right now, I'm never going to see this view again when I'm 20 years, 4 months, 5 months old. So that was like, bro, maybe I should just like zoom out, and like it does matter, but ultimately it also does not matter. So you have to take this with a grain of salt, because of course like money of course matters. It's not ki we're all very privileged to say money does not matter, guys. Money of course, but money is like the first thing. But again, it's just the beginning to something better.
Exactly.
But I think we've spoken about money and we've spoken about if that's the final boss. But I think coming back to self improvement and self development and the habits and lifestyles that I think we follow, and that's helped us in a certain way. This might not work for each and every one of y'all, but I think there are a few things that you could learn from what we've implemented personally in our lives, and it's helped us at least, and it might come of use to y'all. I think starting off, maybe this is a question that I always have in my mind. Okay, we can start off with the working on our physical self. So when you look at the mirror, right, what do you guys see?
Oh, come on, right? You want to go there right now? Oh my god. Okay.
I mean, just curious, Rajveer, what about you? When you look in the mirror, right, what do you see? And my follow-up question is, what do you wish to see one day?
Ooh, that's actually a good question. What do I see when I look at the mirror? Like,
It can be. It doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be physical. It can just be anything. When you just look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see right now, and what do you want to see in the future?
currently, I see this 20-year-old guy who's, trying to figure stuff out. Like, I feel like we all are.
Yeah.
For sure. And we are, a lot of us, even people much older than us, think that, they have it all figured out. But even they know and they feel like at times that they don't. So I'm just 20-year-old, this guy figuring stuff out, doing everything that, possible, getting burned out a lot of times, learning from them, trying to, keep it all together, mental, physical, emotional well-being, and trying to work on as many projects and, grow and just try to live. But while in pursuit of, this future self that I see that, who's vacationing every now and then, has it all figured out, is financially free. But I also feel that when I get to that stage, love that one thing, okay, I'm here now. What's next? That's always going to be there. And I love that about it, but also like that takes away from, enjoying the present moment, as Apoorva said.
So I actually want his kind of mindset right now, because right now mine is kind of very dark. When I look at the mirror now, I see all this unfulfilled potential, and it's like, bro, eats away at me. It's like, bro, what are you doing right now? Get back to work. Like, you're not even there yet. You've not done anything in your life. And it started in 11th grade actually. I used to look at the mirror and I used to look at my physique and I was like, bro, I cannot live like this. Like, this is just too bad for me. Like, I read about these books about self-improvement and all, and I'm eating like crap. And it was like a very dark. It's not a dark phase. It was dark, but a nice phase. So
just thought that you could do better.
Yeah. So it's a good thing, but it's also a curse. Like, at one point, like, it's like how much is too much, right? Like, you get burnt out and all. That's what I'm kind of scared of.
That's what I was saying, that unfulfilled potential. I get that thought almost always there. Like, just a bit more.
Yeah.
You can do a bit more. You can be physically more healthy, more fit. Mentally, you could be more healthy. You could be more satisfied, more happy. Could work more. Work on something that, actually yields results that, out in the world.
Yeah.
But also, would I get the same satisfaction if I'm working on that stuff, that monetary stuff?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think one thing that's common about all three of us, and this might be the reason as to why we started the podcast, is the fact that the three of us believe we have no limit. I think we honestly believe that we're limitless and we have this potential in us that we don't think we can ever reach, because there's always more potential in us.
That is
beautiful,
but yeah.
And that's something that I've seen in both of you a lot, and it just feels like I'm seeing a mirror. As we're talking about a mirror, I'm seeing a mirror when I'm seeing that trait in both of y'all, where I genuinely feel that, because I know that's the thing, right? I know that I'm guessing, because this is what happens to me, I'm sure it happens to y'all, is that when we look in the mirror, we are never satisfied with the man we are right now, and that's because there's a long journey for us, right? We are on this mission that we have these things to accomplish, and I just think that those things that we have to accomplish, once we get them, there'll always be more to accomplish, and that's the way our brains work, and that's the way we operate. There's always more to get. And for me also, other than the physical stuff, before it used to be the physical stuff where I used to be disappointed with the man I was looking at in the mirror, and that was not the physical version of myself that I wanted to see myself in. But apart from that, right now, which I have worked on consistently, and I think I'm getting to where I want to be, not there at all yet, but I'm still working towards it. Other than that, there's just so much more, right? But the potential thing, when you said, that just hits a different place, like I just I just feel humbled for some reason. I'm like, bhai, बहुत काम करना है अभी बाकी है. It's like, don't let your ego, and also don't just feel too proud of yourself at this moment, because there's a lot more to do. You've not even begun yet. Like there was this thing that I was reading about where someone, I'm not sure who it was, but I completely agreed with that guy when he said that when they spoke about what you see when you look at the mirror, and he said that he saw a shell of what he can be, a cocoon, and he said that the butterfly will grace its presence one day, and hoping that the three of us are butterflies as such, grace their presence on this planet someday. But coming back to the physical thing that you mentioned before about your in 11th and stuff, if you want to get into that a bit, what do you mean by when you said that the 11th version of Apoorva saw himself in the mirror and was just not happy with the way things was? What did you mean by that?
So it's like you both of you all knew me in 11th. How different I was. Like I was not very different, but I was, you could say, immature, and I didn't like. I was just going through life. Like you remember, I was a JEE student. Both of us were JEE students, and it was like school jao and then khana khao and then go to college. Go to tuitions, come back home, sleep, and the same cycle again and again and again. And it was like I lacked some substance, like lacked some meaning in my life, and I was like, bro, if I were to do this for like 40 years and then look back at life, is this my life? Like, and that was at like a standstill. And I was like, bro, I'm thinking too far right now. Let's just focus on myself right now. What I can do to improve. And then the first thought was, of course, my body, my physique. Because it's not like in 11th May, I wasn't like kind of a bullied kid. But I used to be called names and like mote and all that stuff, and it used to hurt me. ऐसा लोग बोलते हैं यार, I know it's fine, but it kind of does hurt you. And at one point it was like, bro, like, am I really that guy? Like I did question with myself, like, do I want to be this guy? And that kind of was like, bro, that's it. Like that was like the beginning. Like I have to stop. Like I have to stop eating this crap. And then it's also willpower also. Like everyone says, I have to stop eating, but they don't have the necessary habits.
Wait, so what was the specific moment, or do you remember the specific time when you wanted to make this change? Because even I don't know this about you. When was that specific time where you were like, okay, I need to make a physical transformation change now? Was there like a specific moment?
There was no specific time, but I think the pandemic was where I was like, bro, I have been given this time. Like there's so much time I have right now on my hands. And I was reading this book called The Obstacle is the Way. How every like calamity is like an opportunity for you. How every obstacle is an opportunity for you. And that was like, it was beautiful, very nicely. And there was this line, what stands in the way is the way. And the impediment to action advances action. So it is a Marcus Aurelius quote. And that was like, oh fuck. So I have to take advantage of this opportunity right now. And I was like, so of course, starting my family was kind of reluctant. They're like, "Tu kya kar raha hai? So tu boards pe focus kar and all." I was like, I'm not gonna stop. Like, I mean, I have to change myself. And right now they're like, oh yeah, okay. Now they look at you and they're like, oh my god, and all that stuff. And
insane, bro! Insane transformation, man.
But it's just like, it was like during those moments, it feels like hell. But when you come out of it, it's just you're a completely different guy. And it's just every day when I used to look in the mirror, when I used to see myself naked in the mirror, half naked, bare naked, whatever, I used to see this thing. I still look at I'm still not satisfied with what I am in the mirror. I have to go. There's a long way I need to go to, but like at that point I was like I have to change, bro. Like this is not my life. This will never be my life in the future. And I was like, I used to watch a lot of content, educational content, self-improvement content. And I was like, what is the point of... Have you heard of the term mental masturbation? You've heard of mental masturbation, right? So what mental masturbation is like, you keep watching that content, but you never act on it. You're just mentally masturbating to it.
Oh, damn. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we just keep watching education content, but we never take the decision to act.
You know, that's actually very true, because people watch these self-improvement videos, people watch these self-development videos, and then they watch that YouTube video, they put their laptop down, and then they go and eat McDonald's next. And then I watched videos of people telling me to work out.
You continue.
You continue.
So it feels good to them. Like, I watched this video
I watched this
today
educational
and-
video, but then you don't act on it.
It
Damn.
feels like you have acted on it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, the brain is up to
Yeah.
something. It goes like, okay, you have done so much productive work today. You have watched a good video instead of, the rubbish videos on YouTube.
But you haven't done any productive work, you've instead procrastinated.
Even while reading, you feel like,
Yeah.
it's productively procrastination.
Yeah.
So that was like the pandemic for everyone else. I don't know. I think I'm the only one. I'm not the only one, but like for a lot of people, the pandemic was of course it was a bad shit for everyone.
It was a setback and...
Yeah, it was a setback, but then when people started telling me, Apoorva, you've changed so much, I'm like, haven't you? I was like, you should have also changed with me. And then I was like, okay, and I think like that's where I saw like the difference of what I can make, what I can create.
Because you saw yourself go on this journey and you thought that everyone should have with you, but the others didn't, and that made you realize that you stand out in a certain way. That's very well. But what about you, Rajveer?
Yeah.
When it comes to the physical transformation and stuff, where do you see yourself right now, and where do you see yourself in the future?
Okay, so like the past, I know it's not much noticeable. So
No, I can see it. He's also changed a lot. Bro.
It's very observable.
So
very
like
observable.
in 11th grade, I guess after a midterms or something, unit test, I went out with a couple of friends, like after meeting my guys and stuff. I came back and I looked myself in the mirror. I was like weighing this much. I was, I guess, around 76 kgs or something. And I looked myself in the mirror, like as you said, half naked, and I was like, holy fuck, something needs to change. For sure. And there's that quote, I don't know who said it, but that, kept, made me think a lot.
What was the quote? Do you remember?
If you change nothing, nothing will
Yeah,
change.
nothing changes. Yeah,
It's
nothing
a
changes.
very simple quote.
I think it's nothing changes if nothing changes.
So I was like, okay, if I'm not changing anything in my lifestyle, route, exercise, or diet, nothing is going to change. So I started, like, one of the initial habits I got into was meditation.
Which we'll speak about also in detail. Yeah.
So, and I started, like jump rope, daily.
Cardio.
So first I was like 50 a day, 100 a day, and then I guess I started that back in October or something. After that, lockdown came, and initially those numbers were 50, 100. Lockdown with they went up to 3,000, 4,000.
Fuck, man.
Oh, bro, that's beautiful.
Cheers.
Beautiful. And I did
Beautiful
not
work.
feel tired. It was crazy.
What about you, Aaryan? You've been like, both of us know, like 11th February, you were a pretty fit guy, and right now, I think you're even better than.
Yeah.
So like, what is your mindset? I really want to know, okay, like, what makes you go to the gym every day and be like max that rep out?
Yeah, also I wanted to say, like, earlier, sorry to interrupt. Okay, so 76 kgs, I went down lockdown with to 58 kgs.
You lost 18 kg.
Maybe I think 75 too. Something like that.
Crazy, man. Both of y'all. Crazy. That's crazy.
Using.
Yeah.
Sorry
So,
to interrupt.
no. So, that's a very good question. Actually, the thing is, I've always been a bit health conscious, as like, I don't want to make it sound like a prick, but the thing is, in my family, my mom is a fitness instructor, right? So she's always been someone who's been into fitness. Like, she's been a health freak throughout, and it just rubbed on to me, right? Because if you have someone in the family who's in this field and who's always been health conscious, and and obviously if it's your mother who's the one who's giving you the food, right? She's always made sure that my food has been consistently healthy, and I've always eaten right. So this is something I tell people very frequently when they ask me that, "Bhai, gym kab chalu kiya? Meko bhi tere jaise dikhna hai." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fair. I understand, but this is not something where you start gymming and in 2 months you get a good body. You have to, it's a very long process, first of all, and second of all, it's the diet is equally important, and this is what people don't understand. I think for me, I've always eaten right, so I've always been fit. I've not had muscles as such when I was before 12, because I never went to the gym, but I've always been the fit kid because I've eaten right, and I've always played sports and stuff. But yeah, the thing is, for me, a habit, as we're talking about habits and lifestyles and stuff, a habit that honestly changed my life. This is something I started, I think, during lockdown only, was the fact that I started eating dinner at 6:30, and I kid you not, it changed my life. Okay, so this is something I would recommend to each and every person, because I know everybody eats after like 10. Like people eat at like 8, 9. That's
both victims of that,
that's
actually.
early, you know. Like people say, "भाई मैं early खाता हूँ." I say, "हाँ भाई कितना early?" It's like, "भाई 8:30 तक खत्म होता है." I said, "भाई मैं 2 घंटे उसके पहले खाता हूँ." So you know, the thing is, eating early is a tremendous, it's a life changer. Honestly, your physique, you start seeing changes in it tremendously. And this is something that people don't really think about as such, is because they say that, "Chal, I'm sleep." That's fair, okay. They say that I'm sleeping at 2 o'clock. So if I eat at 6:30, I'll obviously feel hungry at 10 and 11. I can't eat again. Then should I eat twice? But the thing is, I sleep also earlier.
Yeah.
So eating early and sleeping early is far better than eating late and sleeping late. And this is a fact. This is not something debatable. I think this is a fact. And this is something my family entirely has always followed, where we have eaten dinner early and we have slept early. And it changes your life, guys. Honestly, fitness wise, it's tremendous. And yeah, when we talk about the gym and stuff, I started gymming, I think, after lockdown, as you said, proper consistently. Before that, I used to go occasionally to the gym, but never consistently. I think after lockdown, when college had just started, that's when I became regular, because I started realizing that, okay, I don't just want to be fit. There are many fit guys. There are many thin guys. There are many athletic guys. There are many fit guys. That's there. No, I want to be that 0.01% guy, right? Right. And for that to happen, you have to put in 10 times as much work. And I was ready to work out. For me, the thing is, I've never admitted this to people, but I think I started realizing that gym is not something I want to do, but something I need to do. And this is when I started realizing that need, that this is not, even if I don't want it, there were days where I didn't want to go to the gym, but I still went, because I realized that it's something I need in my life. And it's something that has truly been there as a support for me throughout. And honestly, yeah, it's changed my life for the better.
Beautiful.
You know?
By the way, Aaryan is only one of the 6-pack guys, and I think he has the best. Like I've seen his physique. It's like
Physique is really good.
I mean,
Very
yeah,
nice.
the thing is, people also tell me that, bhai, they ask me this question I keep getting, like, bro, what's the easiest way to get a six-pack?
Yeah.
You know, like, I keep getting this. People keep asking me, bro, what's the easiest way to get a six-pack? I'm like, bro, but why does it have to be easy? Like, the whole point is, like, the six-pack, because it's valued so much, is because it's very difficult to get. And if it becomes easy to get, if you can get a six-pack in a week, it's not going to be fucking valued anymore. People are going to be like, to kya hua? So, like, going to the gym and getting a body is not easy. It's not at all easy. But trust me, it's worth it. So fucking worth it, right, guys? And just changes your life for the
It
better.
reminded me of that Socrates quote, if you remember. It says, "It is a shame for a man to grow old."
Yeah, without seeing
without
how,
the beauty of
without
what his
seeing how
body is
what his
capable
body is
of.
capable of. Yeah, truly, honestly, you know. And I'm very blessed to also, like, I didn't know that both of y'all are lost. I know about him, but I didn't know you lost 18 kgs, bro. That's absolutely insane. And like, it's still a step. Like, I know y'all are far from what you want to be, but y'all are on this journey, right? You've lost 18 kgs, you've lost 20 kgs plus, whatever. You've started that path, and now the next step is to keep building, right? To become, keep getting better and better and better. And okay, this is another question, moving like far from the fitness wise and physics wise, which you've already spoken. What other habits do both of y'all practice on a daily basis which has improved your life? It can be anything. It can improved any part of your life. What do you guys think would, if you personally could recommend to people to implement these things to better their lives? What would you say?
I guess you've covered the eating healthy part and
Eating healthy and
Yeah,
the
physical.
working out, yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go
You
first?
you start first.
Okay. So first of all, I feel like, as you said, waking up early, the days just gets 10x better.
I agree.
You have the morning and this, everyone else is sleeping, and you have these hours, and I don't know, you just don't feel it's right to get distracted. It doesn't feel you're doing justice to, the early hours by, getting distracted. So it just basically naturally comes to me if I wake up early. I'm, trying to get back into the schedule, because vacation and stuff, and plus college times vary a lot for me. So yeah,
just to cut you off about this early part, right? There's this thing that I want to say. Think of this, okay? By watching the sun rise every day, I promise you that you'll get to watch the sun set in the future. And what I mean to say by that is that if you manage to get up every day early to watch the sun rise and put in that work every single day, getting up early, in the future, you will not be working 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, and you'll get that time to watch the sunset.
That is
Laid back.
beautiful, bro.
You know, original quote, guys. Make it viral, please. But yeah, this
honestly,
is, but you know, this
really
is,
good
yeah.
quote.
Thank you. Cheers.
Beautiful.
It's something that I thought about, okay, and it's something that I told my friends too. It's a thing that if you just get up, as you said, get up early and have the 2-3 hours extra in your day, and just make those 3 hours productive, you'll be saving a lot of time in the future, and you'll be able to use that productively for something else. Continue.
Yeah, so waking up early, as you said. So when I wake up early, okay, so therapist ka recommendation, but I feel that has helped my mental health a lot during the past year. Positive affirmations.
Really?
Really, I feel like no matter how much we talk about, I have talked about like during the COVID period and the year later, was really into existentialism and nihilism and absurdism. It's a really good topic to delve into and get into.
I love that topic, by the way.
It's really, and it's beautiful how it affects you. But if in the long run, I feel it harms your brain because our brains are not wired to that. I feel like our brains are made to thrive on hope, positive stuff. So positive affirmations helped me a lot. Journaling, I would say. Just write down your thoughts. What do you want to do? Write anything, draw anything. Journaling helps you. It helps down, it makes your thoughts clearer. And there's a quote by Naval Ravikant, like, it's much better to be a clear thinker than a smart person.
Oh yeah, this is in the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, yeah.
If you can, doesn't matter if you're very clever or smart, but if you can't, organize your thoughts and, navigate through them, it's of no use. Journaling, I said, there's Aaryan and my favorite, I guess, meditating.
Oh
You
yeah.
want to talk about meditation? I mean,
You want to talk about meditation right now?
I'd like to hear your habits also if you're done.
So,
Is there anything else you'd like to cover?
Drink enough water, I feel like.
Yeah. That's very underrated.
a good
That's
one.
very
Drink,
underrated.
Like at least
Very
1 gallon of water, which is
That's
like
very
2 to 3
underrated.
liters of water.
3 liters, yeah.
So for me right now, I'm not. I'll honestly tell you, मेरा habits are not going that great. I'm not like I'm a big fan of waking up early and all, but right now I don't know, bro. I feel like things are not going my way right now.
You feel, dude, like the
Same thing, right?
Same thing.
But I do believe I still am a big fan of meditation, big fan of journaling, big fan of prayer, having faith in something at least, and big fan of gratitude journaling. This is a thing like whatever count your blessings.
Write down the stuff.
The
that
thing
you
about affirmations is, it's a little dicey right now because there's this quote by Alex Hormozy which says ki you don't get to success by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You get to success by showing an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt. So that's what.
Or like positive affirmations, I didn't feel like, okay, I'm going to do this. Don't say something you are not.
Yeah. So what do you mean by positive affirmations?
Yeah. I am, this person who's very talented, very capable, who's willing to put in the work, and okay, I like one of my affirmations is to let the past go and to forgive yourself, and I'm here to change myself for the better.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Oh, when I thought
That's what I mean by
when you meant affirmation, that is like I'm going to make $1 million today and all that mental
That's
muscle.
That's the usual stuff.
Yeah. So coming back to the topic, prayer, meditation. Meditation has actually improved my life. Like you don't see it on the first day. You feel like nothing's happened. But like there was one point where I couldn't sit for like more than 2 minutes, bro. And I used to reach for my phone and all. I used to get a little kind of anxious and all. And I was like, bro, this needs to change. And meditation has helped like, immensely. And you become a clearer thinker, right? And your mind is like calmer. Then there's journaling, reading, bro. Reading is like exercise for the mind as a core. Yeah. And I think, bro, reading has single-handedly changed my life. Honestly,
I know that.
I agree. Like reading, I forgot about that, underrated. Okay, so I have this thing. 1 hour before bed and 1 hour after getting up. Don't touch my phone.
Bro, I want to follow that, but I
that is something people, I think, struggle to do the most.
The brain gets so quiet and don't listen to music or anything. It's just a book or, I'm just,
What do you, that last hour, what do you do?
I either read a book. Like, there are, several books I go through. Sometimes I'll read a page or two. Whatever I find interesting. I don't go to the internet or anything. Just have physical copy because nothing beats the physical.
For sure, 100%.
There's no
Yeah,
Kindle,
for sure. Yeah.
no PDF,
Nothing.
no ebook, audiobook that beats the physical touch of the book.
Yeah.
Journaling, as I said, meditation. I'll just sit in my room or in my sofa and stuff. I'll just, be there. Just meditate.
That's a very good habit. Yeah.
You know what we can do is, I want you guys to keep me accountable. What we'll do is, we'll have a challenge right now, okay? And then usme, we'll set some basic ground rules, okay? Drink 2 to 3 liters of water, okay? Wake up in the morning is kind of tough for me, but I want to do this. And what you said is right now is no phone 1 hour before and 1 hour after. And we do this for what, 21 days or 60 days?
I feel 90 days.
90 days, are you sure? Isn't 90 days a little...
Yeah, it's a little too much. Okay, though, I was going through
I
it.
want to add a few more things to this.
Yeah, of course. Reading 10 pages, 10 to 15 pages every day. You can read more than that, of course.
Not even pages, then, minutes. And it
But
should
then-
be a physical copy.
Okay. Interesting.
Because, the font and book sizes vary. Just 15 minutes or half an hour.
So we focus on the fundamentals. Basically, also exercise, of course. Exercise. Gymming.
Really exercise.
Yeah. So basically, gym nahi, but exercise.
Working out for 30 minutes minimum.
Yeah. And recovery, if it's like a rest day, then do active recovery or something. Go swim or something. Okay. That is one. Second is drink 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Meditate. Now meditation. Sorry, you want
We'll come to this properly, or we'll complete this challenge. This is good.
We'll come
What
to
else?
this towards the end.
Yeah.
of the
Okay,
episode.
sorry. Meditation, at least for me, right now I'm not that big of a meditator right now. So for me, it's 5 to 10 minutes. तुम लोग के लिए different होगा for sure. And reading, as you said, how much do you want to keep? 30 minutes.
30 minutes maybe too much. 20 minutes is
20 minutes of reading
20
a
minutes
day.
is doable for everyone.
ठीक है. What else? Journaling. What about रात को gratitude journaling? Count your blessings.
Every night.
Every night, yeah. And journaling in the morning. रात को gratitude journaling, counting your blessings. What else? Prayer. But do you think we'll have make time for it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't have to be this where you sit down and do.
Yeah.
It can just be in your mind also. Just be grateful for something and have faith. Be fearing of the universe, or be fearing of whatever ideology or idea that you have. It doesn't have to be a specific god. But that's a very good challenge. So to summarize it, all of the things, you want to start your day.
Wake up early.
Yeah. Another thing, just to add to this, another habit that I think people don't follow and which is underestimated is making your own bed. And this is not many people don't do this. I think this is something I started doing a year ago, which has helped me a lot. So as soon as I get up, the first thing I do is make my bed. And I'll tell you what it does. It basically helps me have a sense of accomplishing a task as soon as I get up. So my mind is in that motion where, okay, I have to get things done. And the first thing that, as soon as you get up, the first thing that my mind is, okay, fine, I just made my bed. This kid wants to accomplish a certain task, accomplish a certain amount of tasks this day. And he started off by doing this. So, by just, you get your brain in that flow. And I think making your bed as soon as you get up is another important thing that you should add to this. So
making your bed actually adds responsibility. It's like you focus on the things you can control in your life.
Also,
right?
yeah, exactly. There are certain things that you can do. And this is one of them.
So
you
it's
can
like, how can you change the world? How can you save the world if you don't have your room in order? If you don't have your bed in order?
Exactly.
Right?
That's a very beautiful.
If your internal environment isn't correct, how will you influence the external environment?
It goes both ways, I feel.
Nice.
If you can't, keep your room organized, how will you keep your brain organized?
That's also true. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, to come back to the challenge.
Yeah.
So start off, get up earlier as early as possible. Make your bed, right? Then the water. Drink at least
2 to 3 liters
2
of water.
to 3 liters of water a day,
Yeah.
and don't use your phone or anything in the start.
For the
The first hour or so.
Yeah.
Correct. Then
Yeah.
continue.
So in the morning, if possible, if you want to exercise for at least 10-20 minutes a day, and I do it in the evenings, the gym and all. But morning maybe it's nicer and all. And then is meditation. Meditate for at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. You can start with 3 minutes.
Start with a minute.
Start with a minute.
Start
yeah,
with a
for
minute,
sure.
but try to keep that consistency, and we'll tell you why. Okay, meditation. Then the reading, which you said.
Read for at least 20 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes.
Physical copy, as Rajveer specified. Yeah. Physical copy reading. Correct. Then journaling, as you said.
Journaling, yeah. Write down your thoughts. And I also feel like when you have, too much, you feel overwhelmed by emotions, writing down the emotions not necessarily, you can write down your tasks and stuff. Of course, that's great, and you should do it. It makes you a clear thinker. But when you have, a place or a book where you can note down your emotions, whatever emotions or thoughts you're having.
Yeah.
It's just
Therapy.
Yeah, it's like
that's
therapy.
beautiful.
And I think along with this, if possible, learn how to make money in the modern world.
So it's like it can be like 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted focused work. That can be. So like we've created a morning routine. If you think
We've created a full routine, bro, throughout the entire day. And I think this covers the body, the mind, the soul, and also, as you said, 2 to 3, 4 hours of uninterrupted work.
Yeah.
Get that done too, and then this is such a beautiful challenge,
And
right?
it's actually not that much, but like you think like it will take a lot of your time, but it's not actually. If you have time to watch social media, you have time to read a book.
This is just a morning. We have only covered the morning, and we can get all of this done just in the morning, and then you have the rest of the day to do.
I also had one thing to add. Like you said, you go to the gym in the evening. Even I do that too. But in the morning, so I do yoga in the morning.
Ooh.
So like the Surya Namaskar, the 12-step thing,
Stretching, okay.
you do that 15 times. It takes hardly 5 to 10 minutes, and it just pumps your body.
Yeah.
I've heard the stretch as soon as you get up and the blood flow and
The
stuff.
blood
It helps a
flow.
lot. Yeah. That's another very good
Also,
one.
one more thing. I don't know if you try this or not. Apoorva, cold showers.
Oh, for sure. I mean, of course. Cold showers is like the big core self-improvement now we're going.
Proper self-improvement.
Cold showers, bro. The cold is scary, but
That's the thing, right? That's the people hate the cold. Just face that.
Yeah.
As soon as you get up, face that fear of yours. Just get in the cold shower. But yeah, that's a good challenge. And follow this for a month. You want to start with
Let's start with 21 days.
21 days. Start with 21 days.
And this is like all of us are keeping each other accountable. Okay, we come back, we check after a week. Every week we check in. And
We'll be honest about it. If we fuck
we didn't do
up,
it, for sure.
days in a row, we'll be honest about it.
Done.
And we all of us know, okay, every day we won't be able to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's the consistency that matters. Okay, एक दिन miss हो गया, the next day, let's go again.
Also, this thing, so when you miss gym or one of these routines a day, you feel like, okay, I've broken that first thing.
Yeah.
And feel
Let's
like
just I get
you
it.
will have to start from zero. But
Yeah.
that's not the thing. If you were consistent with that 6 out of 8 days,
Yeah.
it counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are starting from zero, but you have some experience with it, and it's not absolute zero.
True.
You have learned something from it, and you can get back to it.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
75%.
People just quit, right? And
People
then
just quit. Okay,
they're like,
go.
oh, arey yaar, I failed and now let it be.
Let me just eat some junk food
Yeah.
now because now I already failed. अब क्या करूँ मैं जाऊँगा ही नहीं यार. So it's
Yeah.
like a complete never-ending loop.
Yeah.
True. So that's a good challenge.
You guys, are you ready? Are you prepared for this?
Done. We'll start right today.
Yeah.
And 21 days, let's do this and see how it's helping us also. And hopefully you all do it too with us.
Oh, we forgot clean diet also. Clean diet is like
That's a bare minimum, guys. You have to, What else?
What else?
Meditation. Should we talk about it now? Should we keep that for the end?
We could get into it now.
We good? Okay.
Let's talk about
There's
meditation.
also more, thought process and stuff.
What else? What else do you guys want to discuss? Do you have anything?
So, Atomic Habits, I feel like at this point almost everyone has read it, but getting 1%
Better every day.
Every day.
Beautiful book.
Yeah.
What I was thinking about is perspective. What do you guys think of it's the way you look. So I thought everyone looks at जो मेरा perspective है towards life. I thought everyone looks at it the same way. But then I found out bro, people's perspective towards this self-improvement, goals, all that stuff, it's completely different. The way I was like, bhai, this is so cool, I get to improve and I get to change every day, 1% better every day and all. And then people are not just that, they're not that, bro, I don't see the same hunger, the curiosity to try new things, to try these self-improvement challenges and all. They're like, haan, kar lenge baad mein. And then they go eat McDonald's and all. Bro, McDonald's is getting trashed every time.
McDonald's will report this.
Hey, McDonald's will come for us.
Burger King also. There are a lot of food brands.
That's a very good question. Perspective, because that's true.
Do you think it begins with mindset? Everything, the beginning of a journey begins with mindset.
I think so. I think that's the first thing that you can do if you want to become a better version of yourself, I think you have to start with your mindset, right? If your mind is channeled in a way where, okay, fine, this is my journey now, that's when the rest of it will fall into place. If your mind is distracted and not sure as to what it wants to do, you'll never get to your final best version, your potential. You'll never be able to unlock your level 100, right?
Yeah.
So I think mindset is definitely the first step, but it's also the most difficult. I think that that's like the mindset is like the great filter. It's that barrier that if you cross it, then you enter into this zone where you're like, okay, fine, now I see this path, which is the most difficult path, but okay, I have to go through this path. But to cross that mindset barrier, the other side is just so like chhodna yaar types, and they never see the perspective that many of us see, and many of y'all also see. They never look at it in a way that's needed in life. They're like, I think I've heard this video where someone is like, there are so many better things to do in life than exercise. Like, you're wasting your time exercising.
Dude, where have you seen this?
I swear it's a viral video.
I think
Like,
Ethan from
yes,
or something.
yeah. And he just like, there's so many better things to life than exercising. Like, who exercises in today's time? And the thing is, many people think this way, Rajveer. I'm not even joking. There are people that think that why does a person need to exercise? Why does he need to work out? It's so difficult. I sweat. Let it be. Let me just go eat McDonald's. Sorry.
Sorry, McDonald's.
So that's the thing, right? I think not everyone has the same perspective to life as we do. But if we are on this journey, then we might as well make it to the end. What do you think? What do you think?
As you said about mindset, I feel like the motivation behind, improving yourself, it matters a lot. If it's, okay, I'll improve this, I'll, get these results in my exams, or, I'll get this job. So it will only last till then, even if it lasts till then. After that, you will see, it's not okay. I feel like if the motivation that I feel should be behind it, because you deserve it. You deserve to treat your body like a temple, and your mind to be the best. You deserve that happiness, that fulfillment that comes from this life. You deserve that healthy lifestyle. And only you can, you have the control.
Yeah.
Over, if not over anything else, I feel like you have control over your mind and body. And
But you are not your mind or your body, which we'll come to also.
I think not too existential for this.
Sorry guys, another episode. Yeah. But
I agree with that point.
But yeah, I mean, as you said, right? Even for me, it's like when I sleep at night, I get the deepest sleep when I've worked out, when I've done productive work,
You built something.
and when I've done some productive work, when I've worked my brain, my body, when I've meditated, that sleep is satisfying and fulfilling.
When you
bro.
have crossed off that check.
Exactly, that my body is happy, my soul is happy, my mind is happy. They're all happy. Then that sleep is the deepest and the most satisfying and fulfilling. I don't understand how people sleep without. People don't do any of this. Like, they don't even. There are a few people that they don't want to do anything that will improve their mindset. They don't want to do anything that will improve their body, and they go to sleep. Deep, they have a deep sleep. How do they do that? I can't do it. I'm not able to sleep if I don't go to the gym. I feel like, bhai, kya hi kiya yaar?
Bro, when you say people, sometimes it's also your closest friends. And that kind of hurts. Like, they don't have the same mentality as you. And the fact that they're not going to be there when you're like there, when you think you're there, and like they're going to be, they just want to party all day and they don't want to read books and all. And it kind of, it's like, bro, then what's the point? Like, it's not that what's the point of friendship, but like, friendship is like through common beliefs, through common ideas, through common values. And it's just, it kind of saddens me and pains me actually.
This journey is a lonely one, right? Like, you do get a bit lonely because not many people are on this, and the majority are not. And when you look at the people around you, and you feel like, bhai, main hi alag hu kya? Main thoda weird hu kya? Like, I'm thinking this way.
Feels that,
Yeah.
It often feels like, I have felt that. I don't have it all figured out, but I get that feeling. Am I acting that way, or is it just? Do I naturally want to be where I'm going? And the thing you said about the closest friend,
So it's just, they don't believe in you, and like, it's completely different. Like, they don't have that it's like, bro, how can you not have that mentality? Like, yeah, let's just go to the gym together. Like, no, bro, I'm fine. It's just like, bro, come on, man.
The friends I have, they're very, motivational. A lot of them, are on this, But the few of them, I feel like they're, hurting themselves over smoking cigarettes regularly, drinking that often, not trying to, do better.
But are they really your friends then? Like, that's the question.
I mean,
I care for them and I respect them and, I want to support them.
But they're not going to be there, like, when you're 5 years ahead. Like, you think they're going to be happy when they see you 5 years ahead, like, ahead of them?
I'm not sure because there's that friendship because when you make friends at really a young age,
Yeah,
you love them and care for them
no matter what. True. And we are at that age right now where most of our friends are like either childhood friends or we've known them for very long and we have a soft corner for them. So, I mean, as we grow older, definitely at this age, if I find new friends, it'll be for the fact that they're adding value to my life. I don't need more friends like who are not adding something to my life.
Not have the same mindset.
Not having the same mindset, not adding value to my life, then I don't need any more friends. The friends that I have already, if they're not on this journey, it's cool because they're my childhood friends because I have a soft corner for them, right? And that won't change. So I love them the way they are, as he said. But going forward, I think we need to surround ourselves with people that are on this journey because looking at them, if we are having a bad day, being around them will be like, okay, cool, this guy's doing it, I can do it too types, right? We need to get back on track. The more we hang out with people that are on that, not on this journey, the more we'll think like, bhai, main alag soch raha hu, let me just be like them, like for a day, right?
It's like,
cool.
show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Exactly, Beautiful, that's a good discussion, but
I feel that has evolved with time. So the content you consume.
The first episode, guys. Tune back to the first episode.
We discussed
We
this.
discussed this.
yeah.
But it's kind of saddening, like the friends you like grew up with and all, like they're not going to be there with you. It's like,
I mean, true. But yeah, getting back to the habits that have improved our lives and truly changed our lifestyles. I think the one that we should speak about, which I think all three of us resonate with a lot and has helped us, is meditation. It's truly very underrated, right? And at our age, this is, I think, out of everything, people work out, people read, people journal, people whatever we spoke about, people do all of that stuff. But meditating, there are like that 0.001% of people that meditate at our age, at least, that I know of. मेडिटेशन भाई क्यों पागल है क्या इतना टाइम नहीं है दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड राइट और क्यों करता है उसमें क्या है भाई वो सब इट्स नॉट साइंस लाइक इट्स नॉनसेंस दैट्स व्हाट पीपल से सो लाइक पर्सनली I'd like to speak last, but like what about you all, like personally, how has meditation improved your lives?
It has made me much more calmer. Okay, so now that I can't put this very that Joe Rogan wala podcast I'm speaking
okay.
So the first day
I got it.
set to meditate, you will have thousands of thoughts running across your mind every millisecond, but don't give up sitting. You let those thoughts come to you and pass through you. Don't try to silence them. First in yoga 70 it doesn't work, 21 days it doesn't work, maybe 2 months later you will sit there and have no thoughts. You will be there completely in the present. You will feel those breaths that you take during meditation. It feels like it just makes you be in this present.
What about you?
Makes you calmer. I think meditation helped me actually. This is a very weird example, but like meditation also helped me be more precise in my speech.
Really?
Yeah, it
Damn, I never
it
heard
made me, because I don't have stage fright, but yeah, I get nervous when I speak sometimes.
You get nervous?
I get nervous when I speak, and it's during presentations and all. And then I remember this is not supposed to be a defining moment of my life. I just need to steady my nerves. I just need to calm myself. Just breathe. I do this box breathing, if you know. There's 4 inhale, then 4 pause, and then 4 seconds exhale, and that like calms me down. And I was like, then I can like proceed with my whatever I want to say. And meditation in general, bro, like I feel like the time you spend meditating, the return on investment is like 10 times higher. Like meditation has so many benefits. Like you can check out, like kitna science hai iske piche, and like people still
like people don't believe it. Like they're like kuch bhi dikhate types. Like personally, what, as you said, that's a very good example. I've never thought of it. personally, I think it's also, I think you spoke about focus, right? How it helps you focus, help me focus better. So the thing is, I started meditating when I was in 10th, before my boards. So I was very like nervous and all because मेरे को लगता था कि भाई पढ़ाई नहीं हो रही है, very distracted types, नहीं होती पढ़ाई. So I went to this course like a bit for like 2-3 days where there was a meditation related course. So I went to the mindset thinking यार कुछ भी बकवास सिखाएंगे, just sit and do time pass for 2 days time pass and I'll come back. That was the mindset. But in those 2 days I started to see, because that was the first time I meditated, right? I just sat down and I was a very restless kid. Like I always wanted to do something and I couldn't just sit in one place and just be present. So I just sat and I closed my eyes and I realized that so as soon as they said keep your eyes closed until we say open it, just keep it closed. And I opened my eyes in like 5 seconds because I was like, why should I listen? And I saw everyone around me sitting, okay, just present in the moment, just closing their eyes and just there. And I realized that, okay, let's give it a try. So I just sat back down and I just closed my eyes. And in those 2 days, I realized that those 2 days felt like 20 years for me. Because I had never really experienced every second, if that makes sense, before that. Time used to just go for me, like a day used to just pass by. But I realized how slow a second is after those 2 days. In those moments, I used to sit and they said, okay, now we're going to be meditating for 15 minutes. I kid you not, that 15 minutes, I used to think 15 minutes is that long. Like, how long is it? And that 15 minutes, which it felt so long, then it just started to get slow, faster and faster as time passed by. And now when I meditate for 15 minutes, it feels like 1 minute. And I kid you not, that is what happens. Like you reach a stage where you're just present in that moment. And so initially, there were a lot of thoughts in my brain while meditating. I could not concentrate. So meditation for me usually is mindful meditation, where I focus on my breathing. That's one. Or the other one is I focus on a single thought. So I just focus on that thought and I don't let my mind stray and move around different things. Just focus on that singular thing and close your eyes and breathe, right? Initially, I should not be able to do that. I should think of multiple things. Not a single thought used to be in my mind. There should be all of these things going around in my day and just in my mind going around. But as time passed by, now if I want to think about just one thing, suppose I'm thinking about just the podcast, for example, I can think about just the podcast for 30 minutes in a row by closing my eyes. Like that's the stage I've reached right now. And that focus span, that attention span that I didn't have before, which I agree, was like 3 seconds. I couldn't sit in one place. I just phone kidhar hai, de wapas types. Can't just sit in one place. That's improved tremendously. And I kid you not, guys, meditation has so many benefits to life. Like you become so much more conscious about your surroundings and yourself, right? The reason why this is something I tell people also. I think the reason why I started thinking the way I do right now is like in such a different manner as the three of us think, right? Our brains work and we're so curious and we're so aware and conscious. I think that's, for me personally, it started because I was meditating. And when I started meditating, I think my brain opened up this different version of itself where it became so much more conscious and aware of myself and my surroundings. And it's just changed my life for the better, honestly, And I think people should start meditating because it will take them on this journey that, and guys, I'm the last person to say like things like, if something didn't work, I'll be the last person to say that, Arey, chalta hai, like meditate karo, prayer karo, if it's not worked for me. But personally, it has worked for me. So I would truly recommend everyone to meditate.
We said that 1 second, this is how slow a second is. It reminds me of this concept of stillness, like this idea when you're journaling also. You have when you're just writing thoughts on paper, that therapeutic feeling, it's like so nice, but it's also so still. You just completely present in that moment. Like have you heard of this term called flow? So if you guys have heard about, when athletes get in the zone and all, right? There's nothing but the
Zen.
Yeah, the Zen. So when you meditate and all, you get into that still feeling. It doesn't matter piche construction chal raha hai, kya chal raha hai. What matters is what is right in front of you and what you want to do with it. Like that is something which is beautiful.
I think the true state of being.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't believe you said the same word. Yeah, true state of being in the moment. Just it's insane, like guys, and there's so many benefits to it. Right, honestly, it's crazy.
Meditation is
too good.
Hmm.
Okay, so also this thing like meditation, as you said, time passing.
Hmm.
I feel that, and I've seen some of my friends, मैंने इतना meditate किया. I've did 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It's not about that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel a lot, and using app. Do you use an app for meditation?
I do.
I used to, but not anymore.
I do. This is an app called Medito. This is a guided meditation app. And there's a Headspace bhi double hai.
Headspace,
Yeah.
but then they got the paid thing.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so earlier, as you said,
Yeah.
I started with the guided meditation and stuff.
Hmm.
After that, I used to just sit there because I don't even want that. I
Hmm.
just want to be there.
Same. I think I went from guided to just music to nothing. And yeah, it was initially I needed someone to be there with me. Otherwise, I used to not do it at all. So guided meditation is definitely how I would recommend to start, because if you start meditating by just closing your eyes and not having anything, you will get distracted in 2 minutes and you'll leave meditation. You'll not continue it. So definitely start with guided. I would recommend. Then from guided, maybe move to just music, soft music, flute music, and then maybe move to the advanced version where you're not having anything, which is very difficult, even for me. So I think, yeah, we've covered a lot. I think it's been an hour.
it's been an hour. We thought 30 minutes over.
Today was very therapeutic for us, I think,
Beautiful, man. I mean,
It was very calm.
it was a
talking
very,
with you guys, it's like, it makes my day, man, honestly. It's like,
yeah, like
it's too good.
today's session, I think it was a therapy session for us, more like a podcast, And I think it started off by giving a lot of gyan, but then we just went into this zone of, we went into this meditative state as we started talking about meditation. That three of us, like if you saw Rajveer also initially, I saw him, he was sitting like this, like when we were talking about the habits and stuff, but as we went to meditation, he just put his back and he just went into this state of, yeah.
I'm here in this one.
So like if talking about it does this, imagine guys doing it and just,
for sure.
beneficial.
I feel we get caught up in the small things.
True.
What an episode, man. What a beautiful.
It was short and sweet and a lot of things to take
Sorry,
on.
McDonald's, we didn't mean to.
मत cancel करो भाई, it's like
McDonald's will report us for sure.
There's a matrix, part of the matrix and so.
we come for you.
Because
Yeah, I think that was a good one, right, guys? Yeah. I think let's wrap it for the third episode of the Productive
Procrastination Podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
Let's do it.
वापस करना है? ठीक है. Thank you guys for tuning in to the third episode of the Productive
Procrastination
Podcast.
Cheers.
See you
Good
guys.
night.
Bye.